Overrule! By royal everybody stand! Everlasting as the moon!
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Smells like something good is inside.
Can't catch me! Can't catch me! I'm on a roll. Woohoo! Can't catch me! Can't catch me! Arataki numero uno ito here in the flesh. Ha ha! Can't catch me!
You
Care
are
for
not
a
welcome
dance?
here.
Pull in! Rally! Bam!
Dance with
Ah!
me! Be a good audience, won't you?
one with nature.
What could the children... be up to? Never mind. Let them do... Do as they please.
Ad Astra.
Thank you for Add Ash.
This realm is... If you ever have it...
Something you wish to report? Go on. You have my Good morning. Any plans for today? Whenever I return home at midday, I often find the children sprawled across the ground in the midst of sleep. A certain level of fatigue is common at this hour. Perhaps you too should rest a bit before we head out. It is said that the moon is like an eye, gazing down upon the mortal plane. We have merely grown accustomed to its scrutiny. Time to retire for the night. Oh, can't sleep, you say? Well, I'm afraid you'll have to figure something out for yourself. I have a certain suspicion my solution won't be to your liking. Seeing yourself clearly is a difficult task indeed. Perhaps even a thankless one. After all, they say those who lack adequate powers of self-perception often lead a happier existence. On occasion, I hear others whisper in secret, calling me cold and cruel. People are free to believe as they wish. And I don't intend to clear up their misconceptions. Prejudice has a way of concealing the truth, and that is hardly to my disadvantage. Still, I believe the time has come for certain measures to be taken to live up to their expectations. Let's just hope those on the receiving end of these measures have enough power and status to escape with their lives. Our ideals are not entirely aligned. If we are to work together, we must be willing to compromise. To that end, I'm willing to share certain secrets with you. Information that I choose not to reveal, however, is best left unexplored. For your own good, of course. The children simply adore your stories. They often ask me when you're coming around again. I do hope you won't let them down. Betraying their expectations comes with a price. Perhaps that's something worth your consideration. For the longest time, there wasn't anything I desired, until the idea came to me to assassinate Crucibina. It was a ludicrous thought then. She was a harbinger, famed and experienced, and nearly everything I knew about fighting was taught by her hand. However, it appears you need only desire something with sufficient intensity and the gods will answer. In the end, I gained a vision. And after making certain sacrifices, I mastered this power. Surpassing one's teacher often requires the pursuit of the unexpected. Flames course through my body like blood. This may be nothing but a figure of speech to some, but for me, it's the harsh reality of my existence. The aurora in Snezhnaya is quite beautiful. Certainly worth a visit. I once had a pet spider named Bambi. Raising spiders is quite fascinating. They cannot be domesticated like cats or dogs. Any affection bestowed upon them will not be returned, and they require little investment in terms of care. It's the kind of relationship that suits me perfectly. Clairvy once asked me what a real home looks like, but I had no answer for her. How could any of us know the answer when the House of the Hearth is made up entirely of people who never had a place to call home? By killing Crucibina, I was able to assume the identity of father and rebuild the house. I'm well aware that even with these efforts, the house is far from that ideal. As for what a real home truly looks like, I suppose that question is best put to the side for now. Perhaps one day, Lyney will be able to give me a new answer. Lynette's uniquely calm personality is also her strength, and I believe she is more than clever enough to recognize that. She's an irreplaceable part of that little team of 3, and I would imagine that role brings her much joy. As her father, my duty is merely to give her the space to put those talents to good use. What could the children be up to? Freminet has a complex mind and often hides his emotions. He blames himself for things that aren't his doing and allows them to eat away at his conscience. I would imagine the other children might find it difficult to understand his manner of thinking. But you seem to share a similar delicate sensibility. Perhaps you two would make good friends. Monsieur Neuvillette intentionally maintains a certain distance in professional and private settings. Many say this makes him cold and unfeeling, but I believe the truth is just the opposite. In order for all beings to be treated equally under the law, a certain level of emotional distance is expected. Maintaining that kind of indifference is in itself a demonstration of kindness. I asked Lyney to deliver an assortment of cakes for her theater troupe to enjoy during tea time. The children made the cakes themselves, as a gesture to express the support and enthusiasm of her audience. I do hope she enjoys them. When I was imprisoned, it was the Tsaritsa who pardoned me and gave me the title of Harbinger. I could sense she was a person of true sincerity and compassion, unlike all those pompous hypocrites with their posturing and rhetoric. Yet, it's difficult to say whether her compassion alone is enough to melt the ice and snow that permeates her land. All I can say is this. If we are forced to be at odds one day, I will raise my weapon against her without hesitation. Because that is the greatest level of respect I am able to bestow. As the original Harbinger, much about him remains a mystery. Upon our first meeting, he recognized my background with ease. Yet, to this day, I know little about him. He is very powerful, and that power comes with a high level of responsibility. However, I believe him to be someone worthy of respect, independent of the power he holds. When I first took over the House of the Hearth, he proposed a number of plans for us to work together. He wanted me to send any rejects to him. He planned to experiment on them and then share the results with me. I heard that he and the previous knave had quite the professional rapport in that regard. All I can say is that if he weren't one of my fellow Harbingers, I would have expedited their happy little reunion long ago. She is a very special Harbinger. Pose her a question, and the answer you receive will be entirely unpredictable, if she sees fit to give a proper answer at all. Regardless, any answer you do receive is sure to be an interesting one. The rooster holds little love for me, and the feeling is mutual. He is an acceptable mayor, I suppose. Perhaps even an exceptional one. He has an uncanny ability to make great gains at a small price, which has earned him substantial acclaim throughout his political circles. However small the price may be, if it continues to come at the expense of my organization, sooner or later... I have little interest in her. She's extremely passionate about her research and does not appear in public often. In fact, many of our officers have yet to see her at all. Compared to, let's say, someone who would go so far as to create segments of themselves to better wander across the land, I suppose you could say she is at the other end of the extreme. I won't deny that he is a capable and imaginative individual, but he lacks clarity. He can formulate grand plans and manipulate the economy with ease, yet at the same time, he allows his actions to be governed by the vengeance and hatred locked in the depths of his heart. Rational people often believe themselves capable of controlling their emotions, but I believe that confidence is their greatest weakness. She and Piero were the first harbingers I became acquainted with. Her prideful attitude when she first visited the House of the Hearth failed to earn her many friends among the children. Subsequent visits were accompanied by gifts, and the stately claim that those who dislike me shall receive none. The children quickly learned how to play pretend, and she in turn basked in their attention, superficial though it may have been. I imagine she quite enjoyed being surrounded by children, perhaps due to the persistent loneliness that plagued her. I found her sacrifice to be a great shame. May she be reunited with her lover in death. Objectively speaking, his personality is ill-suited to that of a harbinger. He often tries to think the best of others and finds himself used by them as a result. Of course, he is very talented. With time, I'm sure he'll come into his own. I see no need to judge him too early.
Look, I've got nothing against people who have their own agendas. I myself joined the Fatui to get... There isn't a sane bone in her body.
You wish to know more about me? Why, of course. Our relationship is one of mutual trust. There's little need to keep things hidden. I would only inquire as to whether you're truly prepared for what you might learn. Secrets can be sharper than a knife. Innocent curiosity can lead to dangerous places. The moment you wield a blade, you realize that different lives carry different weights. Some people have an air of renown and distinction, yet grovel and plead for their lives when faced with death. their outward demeanor nothing more than a hollow facade. Others appear unremarkable, yet carry a heavy burden within. Despite the factors that differentiate us in life, death awaits us all. The great and final equalizer. Cruel, you say? I merely state the truth. My Snezheviches and Snezhevnas, those with the courage to walk through shadow, even when the world gets dark, and the conviction to embrace the heat, even at the risk of getting burned. I will do my utmost to teach them how to navigate life. The House of the Hearth begs favors from no one. Like a spider, we hunt for what we want. No one has the power to choose where they come from, but we all have the right to fight for the life we want. In this sense, the world is both unfair and just in equal measure. I don't take in children out of a desire for recompense. In fact, should they so wish, the children are free to leave and pursue a life outside my organization, so long as they're willing to pay the price. Fate can be a peculiar thing. When I was young, Mother favored me due to the unusual set of abilities I possess. No one was able to discern their true hereditary curse. Whatever the origin of my power, all I knew was that it was the source of my strength, and often the impetus for my suffering. It was only after I became a harbinger that I finally learned the truth from the Jester. He expressed surprise that the Crimson Moon bloodline had not gone extinct, and that, in a strange twist of fate, the House of the Hearth had ended up in the hands of an orphan of that lineage once again. I cannot say what the future holds. I trust fate will give me an answer in time, and when it does, I'm prepared to do things my way. Even if that means striking down fate with my own two hands. In my free time, I enjoy observing insects in the forest. The dynamics between them are fascinating. The way they hunt for food, compete with each other, even cooperate. Those that seem formidable aren't always the ones that make it until the end, and a single error can prove fatal. I observe their struggle as they near death, and slowly commit the image of their suffering to memory, much like I do for those that fall by my own hand. The children often make use of words and phrases from popular vernacular that are only comprehensible among themselves, much like the code words we use during missions. Of course, children often need their own space, and I fully understand that. On occasion, we hold barbecue dinners at the house, and the children prepare the ingredients themselves. They enjoy participating in activities like that, and the feeling is mutual. After all, it's always possible certain familiar faces will be missing from the crowd the next time a similar event rolls around. An impressive showing of culinary expertise. Perhaps you'd be interested in teaching a cooking class at the House of the Hearth? The taste is palatable. Perhaps the children will enjoy it. The intent is appreciated, but there is much room for improvement. This memo states that today is your birthday. Is that true? Birthdays should be lively occasions. It's always nice to have an excuse to set formal matters aside every now and then, whether it's for the purpose of celebrating yourself or others. Come, I've prepared a feast for you at the House of the Hearth. Let's not keep the children waiting. Always keep moving forward. Never let yourself be constrained by power. Anger makes you impulsive, and sorrow causes you to waver. Always maintain control over your emotions. Some call me excessively strict. In truth, it is an approach I extend even to myself. I've learned much from you during this time, and I trust the sentiment is mutual. In fact, I believe maintaining this cordial relationship might prove advantageous for us both. Who knows what thorny issues the future holds? I imagine there may yet be many an occasion for us to join hands. It's my turn to play the guest, I see. I shall follow your lead and play the good visitor. That seems agreeable. Is there anything you would like to discuss? The children often say so too. I am not sure what to say to Father, what sort of topic I should go with. I hear such discussions often. In truth, talking to me is not very difficult. I can make conversation on most topics. Ah, it appears you quite enjoyed my choice of desserts for Miss Farina's table. There are many tricks to choosing treats. The key is having a sufficient understanding of everything. The varieties of the treats, their stores of origin, the artisanship of their creators, as well as how they're plated and presented. Each of these factors builds upon the others. Still more intelligence is required if you are making this purchase on the behalf of another. Their personalities, relationships, current situations, and long-held preferences. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. A novice would find it difficult, yes, but experience is cumulative. Start at buying gifts for friends, and go from there. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? But of course, finding common topics and ground are indispensable assets in building interpersonal relations. The work of intelligence gathering merits preparation, but it would be unwise to pin all one's hopes on intel. As such, I try to dabble in as many fields as I can to gain more knowledge. Just the opposite. The more I learn, the more clearly I see how the world operates, and the easier it becomes to lead an elegant life. You must first take care of yourself before caring for others. Knowledge and skill broaden your options. If you have something you wish to share, feel free to come look for me. As long as nothing confidential is involved, I'm sure it will make for a wonderful chat. It's my turn to play the guest. I shall follow your lead. The weather is good, as is the wind. Let us go for a walk. There are two sights I enjoy more than most: the sea by day and the skies by night. When I need to think, the former would be my choice. If I am in a good mood, then I will favor the latter. I've rarely seen a Fontanian, native or adopted, not profess a fondness for the waves. It is full of mystery and peril, but also accepts all manner of wishes. Furthermore, the sea is vast. Vast enough to serve as a repository for many kinds of frustrations. No, I meant something more literal than that. Namely, that the sea can make things that disgust you disappear, never to emerge again. It is good for secrets that should never see the light of day to sink to the forgotten depths. Only when your gaze can pierce through the sea's shimmering surface and look into its frigid depths will you truly understand the truth of this world. Something you wish to report? Go on. You have my undivided attention.
Hello there. It's nice to see you again. Sweet spot you got here. Thanks for inviting me. Sure do. It's great. I'd like to think I'm a flexible guy who can adapt to any environment. Never mind one as pleasant as this. I can tell. Some people like to go out and have fun. Others prefer to create a comfy space for themselves at home, where they can enjoy some peace and quiet. People enjoy life in different ways, but both approaches are equally valid. You know, this place is real roomy. There are houses and buildings, sure, but there's also lots of open space. You could build a bunch of different areas, each with a unique design. That way, it'd feel like we were camping in a new place every night. I'd even help out if you wanted. Truth is, I'm fully furnished with ideas as we speak. Hello there. Sweet. Good night. Oh, hey, you're up pretty late. Still got plans then? I'm not tired either. How about we go out for a bit? If you run into trouble, I'll protect you. Or you can protect me. Whatever works.